One of the things that we talked a lot about in micro in the early part of Unit 3 when we're learning about production and cost is MPP versus marginal cost. So I want to go over both of those things and make a little video for you guys reviewing how marginal physical product or marginal product, how that relates and how it works, and then how that compares to marginal cost. Okay, so let's first focus on marginal physical product. That's the amount of extra crap we make with every new addition of labor. Okay, so if we add this laborer right here, we're adding this much extra MPP. Okay, and then we add our second worker, and all of a sudden now we've really increased our marginal productivity. We are getting a lot more out of that second worker, not because the second worker is better inherently, but because the process itself of producing this good, whatever the good is, the second worker adds that much more extra production value. And then the third worker, we'll say third right here, all of a sudden now we are, we'll say that this is, this is the most, right? This is X. This is our top amount of marginal physical product. We've topped it out. Okay, so that looks like the third worker is our most efficient. That doesn't mean that it's our most efficient. That doesn't mean that's how many workers we're going to hire for this firm. It just means that's the most efficient amount of workers in terms of getting the most out of a worker. So what you see if we hire our fourth worker is, yes, we are definitely adding, we're adding product, we're adding physical product, we're making more crap. We're just not making as much extra as we were when we hired our third one, right? Same thing here if we hire our fifth worker. We're still adding, right, because MPP is positive, right? The marginal physical product is positive, and with our sixth one, it looks like we kind of cap out. So what we're experiencing here is diminishing marginal productivity with every single unit of labor, okay? So we're seeing that while we're going up, we're having an increased amount of productivity per worker, and then as we go from the top down, we're having diminishing marginal returns, or I should say diminishing marginal productivity in this case. Now, this has the mirror effect on the marginal cost curve, right? So as we're gaining and increasing our productivity with each worker, it's actually seeing marginal costs go down. So the amount of quantity, so the quantities in the X here, they can produce is actually bringing our marginal cost, when our marginal cost is the change in total cost over the change in quantity, or the change in variable cost over the change in quantity. So that is diminishing, right? And then it continues to diminish with the second worker. When we get to our third worker and we're at the most efficient amount of marginal physical product, we actually have bottomed out. We're at the most, we're at the lowest amount of marginal cost. So the most efficient in terms of our quantity of labor, in terms of our adding efficiency to our productive capacity, we have lowered our marginal cost. And again, that doesn't mean that's our profit maximizing. It doesn't mean that's where firms are going to produce. It just means that's the most efficient. And as we start to see diminishing marginal productivity, we're going to start seeing an increase in marginal cost, which is why a lot of times, when you're seeing, here's our demand and marginal revenue curve, and we kind of go like, this is our marginal cost. Well, it goes down then up, and it does that because of diminishing marginal productivity. So this is the basis for understanding the efficiency in the labor or capital markets. And sometimes in questions, and I can't speak to what questions they're going to ask, but sometimes in questions it might say, something about topping out here. Well, then automatically that you've bottomed out here. Or they might say at the lowest point of marginal cost, blah blah blah. Well, lowest point of marginal cost is also the most efficient in terms of marginal physical product, in terms of the efficiency of your productive capacity. not the profit maximizing, but the most efficient. So I wanted to kind of go over MC versus MPP so you guys could make sure that you are savvy on that.